Dion, it's been a while since we've given John Calipari some shine on this channel. It felt like last offseason was the summer of Cal, and we were obsessed with it. We were, I think, early adopters of the Arkansas bandwagon. We identified ourselves as Cal guys, and we were in on the whole vision. Then it was an up and down year. It appeared for a while like Kentucky fans were going to be right. But then Cal redeemed himself in March, made a second weekend, Sweet 16 run, got his team playing their best ball at the end of the year. He has more retention coming back to this Arkansas roster next year than I think any Cal team has had in a decade. It's got my attention again. And I don't know if I'm still allowed to be on the Arkansas bandwagon, but I'm certainly paying attention. Yesterday, Cal went on Golic and Golic, and this is me discovering that there's a show called Golic and Golic. Had no idea. But I presume that's an ESPN show, and Cal went on it. And this is a quote that he dropped about how he is building his rosters and approaching the NIL era. Cal said, quote, "If it's about money, I'm not going to go, well, I'll pay you more. I got a locker room. I can't have one guy making three times what everybody else in the locker room does. We're not going to do that to any of these kids." End quote. Your thoughts?
I love Cal because he just so blatantly lies and like no one cares. He just so blatantly lies. Cal's been doing that since before NIL existed. You mean to tell me John Wall and whoever was on the end of that bench were making the same amount of money? Like there's no John Wall was hitting the Dougie before games. Like there's no way he wasn't being paid more than the next person. Um, DeMarcus Cousins was on Kentucky. Love DeMarcus Cousins. No way DeMarcus Cousins is making the same amount of money as Willie Cauley-Stein. I know that. I don't even know if they were on the same team at Kentucky, but I know he made more than Willie Cauley-Stein did.
They were
I
not on the same team, about 4 year gap there.
played together in the NBA, and I know
Yeah.
Boogie made more than him in the NBA, and so I'm assuming he made more than he made in college too. AD was on Willie Cauley-Stein's team, right?
No, AD was also ahead of Willie Cauley-Stein was on the, I think, Karl Anthony Towns team with Devin Booker and the Harrisons.
Can't tell me Cat was making the same amount of money as Willie Cauley-Stein.
We got there. It took a minute, but we got there. Okay, so you think this is just a lie?
For sure. For sure. Darius Acuff is not making the same amount of money as Wagner.
This video is brought to you by NBA2K Lab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. They're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh,
Ooh,
okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
Please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's. That's New
New
York.
York.
Bang.
Where's New Jersey?
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's in Colorado. There's a state of
Is
Colorado.
that this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video. So here's my reaction to this. I think Cal's actually not lying, but he's just putting his little Cal pixie dust on this. It's objectively funny to hear Cal say, quote, if it's about the money, or whatever his quote was, if it's about the money, I'm not going to say, well, I'll pay you more, right? He even added before this, we had four guys return. If you lie to kids, they're not coming back. If it's all about money, they won't stay with us. That's where I'm like, come on, Cal. If it's all about money, you won't have players in your locker room that are all about money. Maybe not all about money. Maybe once they get there, you get them excited. But like, you've been paying players since before you were allowed to pay players. You've been paying players since before people knew it was cool. Now everyone can do it. Let's not back off the paying players train. And it's this interesting world where I think both Cal and Bill Self is also doing this. Those guys, now that everyone can do it, are looking around like, well, I don't do it anymore. That's not how I build rosters. It's not about money. Come on, cut the shit. You were doing this years ago. Now everyone can do it. Now you want to act like that's not how you build your roster. But the part where he's talking about, I'm not going to pay a guy three times what I'm paying someone else, I actually firmly believe that's true. Now you look at last year's Arkansas roster, John L. Davis needed some sort of check to be there that I'm assuming Carter Knox did not. This year, Carter Knox to return probably needed a different check than some of their freshmen did. But I think this is a good sign that John Calipari is emotionally intelligent enough to realize that you have to balance egos in this era of college basketball more than ever before. In a world where everyone is making money, everyone is talking to each other about how much money they're making. You can't keep this shit private. So if you tell one 5-star one thing, hey, this is the number we got for you, this is what we got for everybody. If you've got a different guy in the locker room making $4 million, that will piss some people off if that dude's not playing well. And I think you look at last year's roster, I think you look at this year's roster, I do think it's real. Cal has not brought in anybody that's making that much money. I mean, he's got good players, don't get me wrong. But this isn't a Yaxel Lendeborg approach. He didn't go after the number one player in the portal to throw $5 million at him. He's paying $2 million for a bunch of different guys. And that's probably a way to keep a locker room happier. Because I'll be honest, as a Michigan fan, I am concerned if this Michigan team struggles or if Yaxel has a bad game. Are my point guards looking at him like, dog, you're making $3 million more than me? Are you serious right now? And I don't think that's an issue at Arkansas because Cal is aware that that's something he needs to avoid.
Yeah, I mean, luckily, to be honest, Ellie Cadeau might look at him, and even if they made the same amount of money, look at him like he's crazy. So, like, I think as long as Elliot Cadeau's the point guard, I think that's a fluid situation uh, that Dusty's going to have to monitor. I think, though, he didn't go into the portal and bring anybody in for big money, but he has multiple McDonald's All-Americans on his team, right? Because was Malik a McDonald's All-American, or did they exclude him with the overtime and lead stuff?
I think he was a McDonald's All-American, yeah.
Yeah, he has multiple McDonald's All-Americans on his team. Um, I mean, he's bringing back DeJuan Wagner Jr. He's bringing back Carter Knox. Like, it's not going to be reported this time, right? Like, he's not doing it in the manner where it's going to be public because he's bringing high school recruits and he has a lot of retention. But much like how Braden Smith makes triple what Fletcher Lawyer makes, I think there's some dudes on this team that to retain probably have to make a good amount more than the next person. What I will say though, it is very clear he has a breaking point when it comes to negotiations. Because if he didn't, I think Boogie Flan's back on this team. So I do think there is some element of truth to this statement, and Boogie Flan being at Florida does kind of point to that.
It's extremely true. It's a great point. I didn't think about Boogie. Boogie presumably went to Florida reportedly for $3 million. And if you buy what Cal's saying here, like, hey, I'm not going to pay anybody way more than everybody else, that might be why that happened. Because Boogie was outwardly a Cal guy. Cal certainly would have wanted Boogie back. So maybe there is some evidence there. We have to end this with my favorite quote from this article. This is a real John Calipari quote, by the way. Quote, there were 26, 27-year-old players playing against 18-year-old kids. I look at a kid, he's waving to his wife and their kids in the stands. And it was the second wife. He was using the NIL for alimony for the first one. He's so special, dog.
He is special. He really, really is special. And like you can understand why opposing coaches love him. You can understand why players love him. And you can honestly understand why he, in my opinion, is one of the Mount Rushmore coaches in college basketball history.
Just an unbelievable spit. Yeah, there were 27-year-olds waving to their wives, their second wives. Like, it's a great way to describe the current state of college basketball.